Hello, my name is Wendy Bailey, and I am the Executive Director of the Mississippi Department of Mental Health. I'm honored to be a small part of today's training to help bring awareness to mental health services that are available in our state, and also to bring awareness of mental health challenges among veterans in Mississippi. Our veterans and our service members made a promise to protect our country and made a promise that they fulfilled. And in turn, Mississippians need to do the same by providing the services and supports that they need to ensure that they are mentally healthy. You know, a lot of times we look at our mental health and our physical health separately, but they really do go hand in hand. It's important to know about risk factors and protective factors and warning signs to where we can help those that are in need. A lot of times we hear about ACE for soldiers, which is ask, care, and escort. And by doing that, we also need to know about warning signs to watch for. It's important to look for alcohol or substance use and a pattern of that in the past or changes to that currently. It's also important to look at eating differences, changes into your eating patterns. Maybe someone's eating more or less. Maybe when someone is sleeping more or sleeping less than they have in the past. Looking at things about relationship issues and feeling hopeless or sadness, and also having someone who's talking, thinking, or writing about suicide. Having somebody who's maybe withdrawing from their friends and family. Maybe they've had financial issues, or they've had those relationship issues in the past. Things such as mood changes or possibly giving things away, where they may trigger and let you know that they're having thoughts of suicide. The first part about asking is really, really important. And a lot of times if you ask that question and someone stops and they tell you that they are having thoughts of suicide, a lot of times your first inclination is to protect that person, which is very, very important. But by protecting them, if we don't stop and we don't listen and ask why they're having these thoughts of suicide and what has led them to having these thoughts of suicide, sometimes we can overlook something that can give them that hope that they need. And that leads you into care. Care is very important because it shows that you understand. And understanding comes from listening. So that's why it's very important to stop and to actually hear what that person is saying. And then you go into escort and connecting them to the help that they need. In Mississippi, we have many more resources now than ever before. There's been a large expansion of community-based services over the last several years. And I want to tell you just about a few of those resources to where then you can help connect someone with the services that they need. In our state, the main providers of community services are the 13 community mental health centers. While they're not operated by the Department of Mental Health, they are part of county government. They receive funding and certification through the Department of Mental Health. Through that funding, they are able to provide a lot of services that could benefit our veterans and service members in our state. One is mobile crisis response teams. These are teams that started in Mississippi in the second half of 2014. The wonderful thing about mobile crisis response teams are they are available in all areas of the state. And the sole purpose is to respond to someone who is in a crisis situation wherever they are at that moment, whether that be at home, in an emergency room, at another location. The mobile crisis response team can come to you and provide those services. Last year, in fiscal year 20, there were over 36,000 calls to the teams in our state and more than 20,000 face-to-face visits. And the purpose of this is to de-escalate a crisis and be able to connect and make sure that person is getting the help that they need. Also, in addition to mobile crisis response teams, we have crisis stabilization units in our state. There's 13 CSUs across the state of Mississippi that provide treatment for people on a voluntary and an involuntary basis. So you can walk in and get the help that you need. These have an average stay of about 10 to 12 days. And the wonderful thing is they have a very high diversion rate. So people do not have to actually go on to hospitalization about 90% of the time. We also have intensive community support services. In Mississippi's 82 counties, one of each of these services is available. There's PAC teams, which are programs of assertive community treatment, I-Court teams, intensive community outreach and recovery teams, and ICSS, which is intensive community support services. One or more of these three services are available in every county in our state, and it's an intense service to wrap around an individual who maybe they haven't benefited from traditional treatment in the past. And it helps that person get connected with the services that they need to get back on the road to recovery and to help them become stable and healthy. We also have other services like supported employment. So maybe there's somebody who's struggling with a serious mental illness and they've lost employment or they need to gain new employment. Supported employment programs can help that person get connected with some type of employment in their area. We also have supported housing for individuals who have been hospitalized before for their serious mental illness, and these are called choice housing vouchers. These and many more services are available across our state. We have a website that we developed about a year ago called www.mentalhealthms.com. You can go to this website and you can click on a map and find the service providers in your area and also a description of the different services that are available. So some of these services that I've talked about today, you can go to the website, read more information about them, find out who the provider is in your area of the state, and learn more. There's also inspirational videos from Mississippians who are on a road to recovery and who have been where several of our veterans and our service members are right now. Those personal stories of recovery are very, very powerful. There's also free screening tools on the website as well. So you can take free confidential screenings to see if maybe you need to seek additional help. This is a one-stop resource to try to bring awareness to mental health issues, but also to connect people with services. One of the most important things that we can give someone is hope. As a philosopher once said, hope is seeing the light in the middle of darkness. In our roles, whatever it may be, that is what we can do. We can bring light to others and we can give them the hope that they need in order to seek the help that they need. And then we can all stand together to ensure those services are available. Thank you.